Hello students, today we are going to learn about must and should. This is from your third lesson, Puru the Brave. Grammar, 7th class. Let's check here. Must and should are modal verbs. What is a modal verb? Let's see the definition. Modal verbs are a special kind of auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. A modal verb helps the main verb to express the mood of the subject, and at the same time it can indicate ability, permission, advice, obligation, and possibility. We use must and should in different situations, like we should respect elders, we must learn English. Here, in the first sentence, we should respect elders. That is an advice. And in the second sentence, we must learn English. This is the desirable goal. Here, we use should to tell our advice, and we use must when expressing obligation or an unavoidable requirement or simply a desirable goal. Based on the modal verbs, the subject or a person can express the following things. Here are the meanings for the things. Ability, the mental or a physical power or skill that makes it possible to do something. Permission, the action of officially allowing someone to do a particular thing. Consent or authorization. Advice, guidance or recommendations offered with regard to well-judged future action. Obligation, an act or course of action to which a person is morally or legally bound, a duty or commitment. Possibility, a thing that may happen or be the case. After meanings, here are some rules to remember. Let's see what the first rule is. Modal verbs cannot be used in past or future tenses. So the remaining tense is present tense. So here the meaning for the first rule, modal verbs are used only in present tense. Let's see one example. She must cook her food. You can see the verb form is V1. So this sentence is in present tense only. Let's check the second rule. When it is used in third person, present tense, modal do not have S endings. Especially when we are taking the present tense, that too in a simple present tense, verb contains S or ES. So, this S or ES will not be there when we are using modal verbs. Let's check one example. He should visit doctor. He should visit doctor. Here, if we take the present tense, simple present tense, we are supposed to write he visits doctor. But in this case, when we are using modal verbs, in between he and the main verb visit, should modal verb is there. So, for the main verb to the V1, there is no S or ES. Likewise, we can write so many sentences without yes or es. And the third rule, use not to make modals negative. Let's see example. You should not eat spices. Till now, we observe definition, meanings, and rules of the modal verbs. Now, let us check what are the types of modal verbs. See, different types of modal verbs are there. Some are positive modal verbs and some are negative modal verbs. Let us see examples. Modal verbs, its usage and examples. First one, can, to express ability. Example, I can go to Warangal. And the second one, can. Here, the can is used to request permission. For example, can I go to Warangal? Observe these two sentences. In the first sentence, they are expressing ability, and in the second sentence, request permission. Third one, to express possibility, that is may. May is used to express possibility. I may come later. And the fourth one, may, to request permission. May I come in? Students, this is a familiar sentence to you. And in the fifth one, must, to express obligation. For example, I must go now. And in the sixth modal verb, again must, and the usage here to express strong belief. For example, she must be over 90 years old. Seventh one, should, to give advice. You should stop smoking. Here in the seventh modal verb, we are giving advice. In the eighth one, would, to request or offer. Example, would you like a cup of tea? Here we are offering something to others. And the ninth one, would, in if sentences. For example, if I were you, I would say sorry. Students, let's discuss must and should in detail. Must. Must is used to express obligation, to give orders and give advice. It can only be used for present and future references. Here the meaning for obligation, an act or a course of action to which a person is morally or legally bound, a duty or commitment. Examples, I must go now. This is an obligation. You must learn English grammar. This is an advice. She must learn to drive. This is also an obligation. People must be aware of the current COVID situation. This is an advice. You must eat breakfast daily. This is an order. After must, next modal verb, should. Should is used to denote recommendations, advice, or to talk about what is generally right or wrong within the permissible limits of the society. Used for saying that it is right or appropriate for somebody to do something or for something to happen. Here are some examples. The police should take action about the street crime. Here we recommended that the police has to take action about the street crime. You should apply for the job. We should drink warm water daily. Students should get up early in the morning. You should try to be healthy. The first one is the recommendation and remaining 4 sentences are advices. In the first sentence, the police should take action about the street crime. That is a recommendation. And you should apply for the job. That is an advice. We should drink warm water daily. That is also advice. Students should get up early in the morning. That is also advice. You should try to be healthy. This is also an advice. After finishing must and should, we have a practice test. Here is a test. Fill in the blanks in the following paragraph with should or must. Students, first you understand this paragraph, then you can fill the blanks very easily. I dash say that you dash come to school regularly because you cannot miss important lessons. You dash attend extra classes in time tomorrow. Otherwise, I will punish you. You dash return my book which I gave you a month ago. You dash change your habits. Otherwise, you will not come up in life. The previous paragraph with answers. I must say that you should come to school regularly because you cannot miss important lessons. You should attend extra classes in time tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll punish you. You must return my book which I gave you a month ago. You must change your habits. Otherwise, you will not come up in life. Let us observe the modal verbs must and should again. Here in the first blank, I must say that you should come to school regularly. In the first blank, we used must. Here, that is a compulsory situation. That's why I must say that you should come to school. In the second blank, we used should. Here, I am advising you to come to school regularly because you cannot miss important classes. You should attend extra classes in time tomorrow. Here, again I am giving you advice. Otherwise, I'll punish you. You must return my book which I gave you a month ago. Here in the fourth blank, you must return my book. Here that is a compulsory situation. Why? Because that person took my book a month ago. That's why here the must means here that is an order. So, in the fifth blank we observe, you must change your habits. Otherwise, you will not come up in life. Here the must, that is also an order. Why? Because this is the compulsory situation to change his or her habit compulsorily to come up in their lives. Here is an exercise from our textbook. Now read the conversation between a doctor and a patient and fill in the blanks with should, should not and must, must not. Conversation between a doctor and a patient. Doctor: Mr. Rao, what exactly is your problem? Patient: I have been suffering from gastric problem for a long time. Doctor: Mr. Rao, I dash say you dash eat non-vegetarian or spicy food for some time. Patient. Can I eat boiled eggs or omelets, doctor? Doctor. Isn't an egg non-vegetarian? You dash eat any non-vegetarian food for quite some time. In fact, you dash have stopped eating it long ago. You dash consult me in a week. Patient. I'm sorry, doctor. I won't eat non-vegetarian food any longer. You are quite correct, doctor. I dash take your advice and dash avoid eating non-vegetarian and spicy food. Thank you very much, doctor. Doctor, you're welcome. I think you dash remember my advice. Now, let us check the answers. The same conversation between doctor and the patient. Doctor, Mr. Rao, what exactly is your problem? Patient, I have been suffering from gastric problem for a long time. Doctor, Mr. Rao, I must say you should not eat non-vegetarian or spicy food for some time. Patient, can I eat boiled eggs or omelets, doctor? Doctor, isn't an egg non-vegetarian? You must not eat any non-vegetarian food for quite some time. In fact, you should have stopped eating it long ago. You must consult me in a week. Patient, I'm sorry, doctor. I won't eat non-vegetarian food any longer. You're quite correct, doctor. I should take your advice and must avoid eating non-vegetarian and spicy food. Thank you very much, doctor. Doctor, you're welcome. I think you must remember my advice. Students, hope you understand where we have to use must not, should not. Hope you all understand this session. Thank you, students. We'll see you in the next class.